who is one of the cutest. Focus, 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 focus! He won't bring us this far just to bring us this far. Like, God's reputation is also at stake. So, it's only a win-win situation. Yes, we're actually doing this. It's a ginger shot, by the way. Okay, that's definitely the kick I need. Welcome again, guys, to, I don't even know what to call these type of sit-down videos, but it's just a chit-chat. So, welcome. 2 weeks ago, I watched Moana with a few friends, and there were a lot of things that I took away from that movie. If you've watched it before watching this video, let me know in the comment section. For those that haven't watched it or do not particularly have interest in watching it, this is a brief summary of what Moana is all about. So what is the movie Moana all about? The movie Moana follows a girl called Moana. She is the daughter of an island chief who feels a deep calling towards the ocean despite her father's insisting that she stays on the island to be safe. When the island begins to suffer and its resources start disappearing, food is rotten, the people on the island are not getting enough resources, Moana discovers that the goddess Tefiti's heart was stolen by the demigod, causing darkness to spread across the ocean. And all this is, I would say, is shown to her by her grandmother, which her father obviously doesn't like. Because she's chosen by the ocean to return the heart, Moana is then set on a very dangerous journey to find Maui, the demigod, and restore the heart. Along the way, she faces her fears, she faces failure, she faces self-doubt and the temptation to give up. But ultimately, she discovers that the journey wasn't just about saving the island, it was also about discovering who she is, understanding her purpose, and finding courage to becoming the leader that she's meant to be when her father passes. There are 5 main things that I learned from the movie Moana. So here we go. The first thing is knowing who you are. Moana spends almost the entire movie trying to figure out where she belongs and what she's actually supposed to do, and not what her parents, especially her dad, tells her she has to do. Obviously, she's the princess, but she has this desire, this burden that she knows she's supposed to be more. So who is Moana when the world is not speaking? And it made me start to think, as Christians, what have we tied our identity to? Are you your job? Are you your relationships, your marriage, your friendships, your school qualifications? Are you your achievements? Are you who you are because you are a mother, because you're a sister, because you're a daughter, because you're a son? There was a trend on social media some time back where you were told to introduce yourself without mentioning where you're from, the job you do, or anything that would, something of that nature. And when you think about it, it's very difficult, but it shouldn't be. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9 tells us that we are a chosen people. You are a royal priesthood. You are God's holy nation. You are God's special possession. So that is who we are. We are not our jobs. We are not our marriage. We are not our friendships. We are not our school achievements, our diplomas, our masters, our certificates. We are not that. We are chosen by God, and we are part of His holy nation. And that is who we are. So in as much as all these titles are nice to have, they are nice to put a few letters in front of your name or after your name or whatever rocks your boat, it is also important to not let those things define you. It's important, like Moana, not to let your father's expectations of you define who you are. Not let the world's expectations of you, oh, you have to do this, you have to be this, groom you to who you are or who you're not. Because at the end of the day, that's not the plan God has for us. And that's not who He intends us to be. I say it's better to let God define who you are. Go to Him and find your identity in Him. That you can't lose. Because your certificates, your titles, your job, your marriage, your friendships, you can lose it all. But if God gives you an identity, for life means for life. The second thing that I learned is to trust God out of our comfort zone. So Moana stays on the island because obviously her father is guarding her, and then she also has some elements of fear. She feels like, okay, this is what I know, maybe I should stay here and make it work. And that is the problem with most of us. Most of us are confined to our comfort zone, that there is no room for growth. There is no room for improvement because you have reached the peak of that comfort zone. You need to get out. You need to explore. You need to do more. You need to be more. Nothing else is going to come out of that comfort zone. And even the next level that you're aiming for outside the comfort zone will eventually be another comfort zone. But now, the circle, the bubble that you call the comfort zone, you've reached the peak. I know it's easy to say, oh, step out of your comfort zone, blah, 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 blah. But it also gives anxiety. It gives stress. Because you don't know what the other side holds. And for a lot of us, that's what holds us back. The fear of the unknown. But let's not forget that we need to trust God in all our ways and not lean to our own understanding. Because our understanding can't get us anywhere. Our understanding is very limited to what God has previewed us to. We're talking about the author of the universe, the creator of the world. He is the finisher of the script you are in. So it's best to let Him direct the show. It's best to let Him take center stage and you be a supporting character. I said what I said. The third thing is courage does not mean you're afraid. When you think about it, right, Moana was very scared. Even when her grandma passed away, I know, spoiler alert, even when her grandma passed away in the movie, she almost used that as an excuse to not go because she was scared. But guess what? She did it anyway. Do it scared. Do it afraid. Do it when you are unsure. And do it with God. I've told God, you lead the way. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to trust the next step. Even that next step, you might not see it. That's God's discretion. But you should just have faith to lift that foot onto the next step. In the middle of the movie, there's a part where the goddess is like a beast. Honestly, it's not like a beast. She is the beast. Fire burning beast. Almost like the image of a devil. And Moana tries to go past her, and she does it and she fails, and then she does it again. The courage to keep going even when you are unsure, even when you are afraid. That is all you need. To keep trying and not give up. Because once you give up, then you have succumbed to the defeat. But if you keep trying, you don't even know. What if I fail? What if all this is in vain? What if this is a waste of my time? But what if you succeed? What if all this is actually helping you to tell a better story? What if you're going through all this so that when you're telling your life story and your journey, to the next person who is going through it, it will be a life lesson they can get from. It will be something they can build on. It will be an indirect experience they can learn and pick something from. Joshua 1 verse 9 tells us to be strong and courageous. We should do all things with faith because we know that God is with us. We shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't panic because God is with us. If God is with you, doesn't matter who is against you. I'm sorry, no, it doesn't. The fourth thing that I learned from this movie was you should not let your past define you. Moana's tribe were sailors. There were people that traveled the world. There were people that were going around the world and exploring the world for their benefits and the benefits of the other people in the community. But they hit a roadblock when they allowed the traumas of their past define their future. And that is wrong. I know we've heard stories of people that did this and it didn't work. We've heard stories of people that did that and it didn't work. That thing that you want to do, you know, people that have tried so many times and failed, but they didn't fail it like you would fail it if you fail it, and they wouldn't succeed like you would succeed if you succeed. The difference is you haven't failed it. The difference is you haven't tried. So you shouldn't judge the whole future experience based on the past. We should learn from our past. And they do say that history does repeat itself. But at that point, you would have had or crossed out one other process, one other option that is not worth trying for yourself. For example, in Moana, the demigod, who is one of the cutest. Ignore me. Oh, focus. Maui, he was so scared of his past because he had failed in the past that he didn't want to attempt or even want to go forward and see what the future had in store for him. If not for Moana's encouragement and Moana's persistence, he would have been stuck in Neverland. That's what I like to call it. He would have been stuck in Neverland, in the what if land, in the could have been land. So your failures, your mistakes, the setbacks, the down moments, they are part of the story, don't get me wrong. But they are not the future of the story. They are not the story that is unwritten yet. They are part of it. They are the foundation. They are not the building. They are not the rooftop. And they are not the view. Because you need to leave the foundation. You need to build up that project. You need to put a roof on that project. So that when you go to the rooftop, you can appreciate the view. Because you started from the ground up. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone and the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17. The last thing I would say to sum up this video is God is a God of restoration. It was so beautiful when they replaced the heart of the goddess and the rest of creation in the movie was restored. The Bible says in Joel 2 verse 25, I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten. It is beautiful when God restores you for what you have lost. It is beautiful when you've gone through the journey, you've come out of your comfort zone, you've not allowed your past to define who you are. You've trusted that God is with you and so you're not going to be afraid. And then while you are trusting Him, He restores you for the past that you lost. He restores you for the years that you thought would end you. He restores you from the things that you thought you would not come out of. It's a very fulfilling season. Sometimes what looks completely broken is God's star point. There's still so much ahead. So much ahead. I think in all, I would say find your identity in God. Trust that He will lead you into the place of promise. Have the courage to take the steps even when you can't see the full picture. Redemption and restoration. God would restore you in the places that the locusts have eaten. All the areas of your life that the locusts have eaten, my God will restore you. Those are the things that I got from the movie, and I thought to share. I thought this would be a wonderful video to share because the year is about to end. There's a lot going on in lots of people's heads. FYI, I am one of them. I am a monk. And so it's just nice to know that in everything, once we trust in Him, once we've surrendered our plan to Him, it's going to be all right. That's for sure. Like, He won't bring us this far just to bring us this far. Like, God's reputation is also at stake. So it's only a win-win situation. So we see each other in the next video. Bye for now.